Hi there, this is Jen, and thanks so much for joining me today. Today I am working with the Hedgehog Hollow February box, and I'll pop up a picture of everything that's included in this box. I'm going to be mainly working with the 6x8 stamp set with the kind of like a build your own flower set. I absolutely love it. So to get started with the first card, I'm going to go ahead and take a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock and some low tack tape, and I'm just going to create a little white border around the card while also creating a space for some watercolor. And normally I don't watercolor on Bristol, but it's a really super smooth paper and I'm not using a ton of watercolor, and so I thought I'd go ahead and use it today. I love the way that the tape frames out the card. It kind of just makes it look really awesome when you complete your project and mat it. And I'm using Mission watercolors, and I'm just using some yellows and some oranges to make a really kind of fun spring feel card. And then once I dried the panel, I did sprinkle it with a little bit of white watercolor. And this is a stamp set that comes in the box for February. I love it. I love all the different designs on the petals, the fact that you can create your own little flower. So for this card, I just did some partial flowers around the three corners of that panel. And I did have to mask one off because it layered over the next. I added the sentiment, and that's pretty much going to be it. I will trim a little bit of that white area around the edge of the card, then mat that on black, and then mat that on white. And that's going to finish off that first card. It's super, super quick and easy. And if you're not familiar with the Hedgehog Hollow subscription box, I'll go ahead and leave a link below for you to check it out. This box will run through the 14th of February, and then the next box will come out. So if you're interested in this, great time to go ahead and pop over and look at this. So the next card, I'm using a piece of accent opaque white paper, and I'm just going to make a border of partial petals around the entire card. So I'm inking that up with some VersaFine black, and I'm just trying to get it as even as possible. As you can see, it's not perfectly perfect. And then there's this little ladybug stamp in the panel that I stamped a few times as well. Now I'm going to start on creating just a single flower, and so I put a piece of watercolor paper because I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do with it. So in case I wanted to add a bunch of water, I did go ahead and use watercolor paper. But I'm just going to start out by stamping each item individually. It's easier to do that with this stamp so that you can get everything lined up. And I am using only the pattern stamps that are kind of stripes or waves. I think it gives it a really kind of groovy look. And then I added a little bit of clear embossing powder and heat set that. And then I'm going to mask off all of the areas of the petals so that I can create a rainbow background. And so there are 12 petals that fit on this 5.5 by 5.5 card panel. And so I'm going to take the petal in the stamp set. There is one that is just kind of blank, so there's no pattern. So I'm using that. If I were going to do this again, I would not use the VersaFine, because what ended up happening was, because it takes so long for VersaFine to dry, it did end up smearing the ink a little bit into my ink blending. It's not super noticeable, but I definitely would not use that ink again for masking off some images. And then I'm going to use the Color Hive inks from Maker Forte. And the colors that I'm using are Tiptree Jam, Rollerskates, Hyde Park is the yellow, and then we've got Limewired, which is a neon green, the Acid Wash, which is a neon blue, and the Purple Rain, which is a neon purple. You can tell which colors are neon because the cases are clear as compared to the non-neon colors where the cases are solid. And so I'm just going to go ahead and blend all of those inks. I will spritz that with a little bit of water and mop that up with a paper towel. And I'm also going to take a little bit of white ink and splatter that white. And then the big reveal, I love the way it looks when you take the masking paper off. And I'm going to add a little bit of dimension with the flower. So I'm going to do that by pushing in towards the center with both of my thumbs and then rolling the edges. I think especially with these stamps that are kind of wavy, just gives it a really kind of cool look. And then once I have my flower petals kind of bent a little bit, I'm going to add a piece of foam tape to the back of that and then adhere that to my card. The sentiment for this one, I just wanted something really simple, so I am using my Dymo embossing label maker for that, and so I just did a really simple hello sentiment. And so I will go ahead and add that. And then I'm adding some of the crown jewels from Maker Forte. And originally I was just going to put this little bit right here in the center. And then I thought it looked funny. So I did go back after I stopped my video and added more gems in the center so that it kind of fills it up a little bit better, makes a little bit better. And that is it for me. That is my video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did like this video or find it informative, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. As always, I thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to spend with me, and I hope to see you next time.